live to our Facebook page, just Kin Plus, and also Kin TV Gambia on our YouTube. Whoever is to connect, just they can log into Kin TV on our YouTube page. So right on our radio station, that's King FM 94.7, where they were here, and I think they will, hear from us and to have clue about our topics today. That we are going to speak about politics. So the political crisis in Africa. So we are hoping to have one of the political analysts out there who is currently based in France, but him also he is yet to join us to our platform. But I believe both of them will join from Europe there. So we will go ahead and to our program. So nabating kamoylal momol bedami just kalam tandi bi intol program oto wolem hatok awati alkan wokana jang radio King FM 94.7 aramsa niatra 6 p.m. futata ñim programme be na la jam so bi ntol be kacala ñim political mum be keri ñim political of West Africa ani ntol la banko region out there Guinea Conakry and dulal doto fanam. So last Thursday ntol nga do sotoni mung atelem managing director Voice newspaper because ntol whole topic is about media, but bi ntol nga mokiling wo faran aka lori pour funding ki ol Gambia jang atelem honorable Lamin Mane so atelem faran ka modri ñew constant citizen ntol Gambia jam. So suñu mbokk yi nga xamante ne ku nekk yaa ngi déggul ñu wala yaa ngi seetaan ñu si suñu Facebook page bi wala TV King TV Gambia on our YouTube page ma xamal leen rek time bii nii programme bii nii day am fii nii wala day ñëw si seen plateforme bi si suñu Facebook ak YouTube TV and radio station 94.7 every Thursday 6 p.m. su fekkente ne jot na ànd ak man Ousmane Diallo ak suñu invité yi boo xamante ne comme last Thursday dañoo amoon wala Moussa Serif at le managing director of Voice newspaper because war time last Thursday programme boobu dafa amoon about media so both programme bi nii is about politique so dañoo am fana tamit suñ correspondant yi xamante ne ñu nekk out there comme as usual dañu am Ibrahima Migrant but agagul si plateforme bi xam naa su fekkente ne ak na si plateforme bi rek is dañ koy am nañ tamit boo xamante ne ku war a analyse about politique moom tamit si France la base but is about they analyze about political crisis in West Africa so moom tamit war nañ ko am but gisoo guñ ko si suñ plateforme xam naa su fekkente ne dafa join us rek si suñ plateforme bi ak dañuy am ko si live boo léegi nag balaa ñu xaar leen wala ñu lii nii dañuy dem Guinea Conakry moom mu jox ñu suñ report yi so dear listeners wherever you are listening from us either you are watching us on our Facebook page or YouTube TV and radio station King FM 94.7 before we get into our business we will hand our mic to our reporter in Guinea Conakry Abubakar Bugarki vien aray min jonnete tum may kon wawa men hollude ko no yawti ton do dum non haray men humpitete kadi gambi do wono guinéembe be dido hibe wadi do accident dum no problem ha be wardi bay sa yi debbo woni ko wari sina mum no be holliri non haray ko debbo toso ko wari sina mako accudo bibbe jo kander leydi Gambia do dum non haray be holli ko jeabe Guinea Conakry ton dum non haray fion do ngal compital do wonno ko yalti hanke bimbi haray no fion do kambe datidire be wenata police kambe kadi haray woni be jokkitare murandum be ndara ko honno fi konu addi sabu e sombo ha dum do way wadde kander leydi Gambi do dum non haray be wawi hollude ko guinéembe wadi ndu muradu do fion do no haray ngal compital do woni ko lolli kander leydi Gambi do dum kadi no haray o inete do Ousmane Sonko kanko di haray ko woni premier ministre Sénégal on himo kander leydi Gambi do ko addimo do non ko fi haray hakkunde Gambi e Sénégal hebe jodi be yewta ko be inata fi ngengal wala ko business like in English ko be inata trade kon aray noon ko ɗum addi Ousmane Sonko ka nder leydi Gambie ɗo haray ngal kumpital ɗon kadi ko lollugal hannde noon ɓe fuɗɗike cérémonie on ko yaata balɗe tati si tawi ɗum ɗo wawa gassude kono noon haray an kadi yawawi men jonnude on ko honno woni ko yawti e nder nde yontere yawtude ɗo ka nder leydi Guinée Conakry toon walla ko kumpital hewgal ɓurɗon heɓude ka Kalen News ka deftere mum kumpital toon haɗa wano Kalen News kamɓe kadi heɓe dari fi hollitugol yimɓe ko ɓurita lollude ka nder leydi Guinée Conakry toon haray noon min ɓuuri humpitade kadi wano min yi Kalen News ɓe yaltini kumpital ɓe inni haray inneteɗo Momad Ceerno Diallo jeeyaɗo Timbi Madina imo faala wadde political party ka nder leydi Guinée Conakry toon kono noon laamu wawi hollude ɓe jaɓananimo ɗum noon haray ko honno wawi yarde monsieur Boubacar Garki a wawa men yawtinande ɗon seeɗa
ko noon woniri hare min weltanike on ko adi ko taw e weltanike wonɓe heɗade ɓen fof ka sayon fewniɗo sengo Gambi nokku kala ko ɓe woniri e nder leydi Gambi ndin haray wano no mbaƴƴinema ɗon noon fi ko fewti ko waɗi kon Gambi taw haray ɗum noon kadi hewti ka men Guinée ga e jama kino haray no wondi e yumede ande ko fewti ndumurade ɗon ko tawata haray e ko sonnajo woni ko wawi hunnude lajjal kawtalje muɗum e ɓe tawata haray on kadi no acci gueɗal ɓe haray jallini ɓe ngurenen ko addi kon e nden tori position waggo tewtewrede maɓɓe nden e cuuɗi ñaawirɗe ɗin kadi haray nden toriɓe waggo tewtewrije ɗen anda so tawi woni haray ko faggitanide noon ko yaɓɓe teware makko ara no gasa no woodi haray ko saria on ko heɓti fi ko fewti ndumuradu ɗon amma fi ko fewti ka mene Guinée Conakry ga haray se ngattori saare labbe nden wano kam woni ɗo ni haray ka saare labbe ga e wiye alhamdulillah e nder yontere ɗo haray piiji wi wawi fittude e yaari kadi e hoore no hanniri kono ko waweten manditade ko wawi yawtude ka tukkunde karama ko alpha mo laɓe ko tawata hara waway e sendodude ɗum ɗon enen e jamaji ɗin e nokku kala ko ɓe woni tinirde nder Gambi on haray ko fi ko fewti ko tawata kon duggugu eɗon andi laawi puy wonɗi ka région administrative labbe ga haray waɗaka dole mana goudron haray nduggu hino soñjude jamaji ɗin muradi seeru fiko fewti nokkiɗi buy tentinino heɗuɓe e sera laawi ko tawata haray e dole waɗaka e ɗin laawi ɗon amma si feƴƴi ɗum noon haray ɗon jeeli e ardiɓe koɗoli missidaji ɓen ɗum ko chef de quartier ɓe ha hewti président district ɓe ɓen e chef secteur ɓe ɓen ɓen fullinanoma e mana ɓe accintinnanoma golleji maɓɓe haray lontingol ɓen ɗon kadi woni ko fokkiti ka tuffunde karama ko alpha mo labbe kono ɗum ɗon fokkitiri e ñooña fokkitiri e sonko e mettu ɓerde ɓay haray sukaɓe buy jeeyaɓe e quartier ji buy gandintinnayyi e commune urbaine labbe on haray no mari quartier ji e nogay e jeetati e quartier ji nogay e jeetati ko tawatara sappo e jeegoji ɗin fof ko wondi ka saare ɓurɗi ɓattade saare labbe ɗen en dinɗin haray ɓattaki saare nde donc ɗin quartier ji nogay e jeetati jamaji ɗin haray hino wulliri e délégation spécial commune urbaine labbe on ko fewti e toɗɗagol do ardu toɓɓe suɓirgoɓe jiɗali suɓiraɓe e saabu haray ɓen tigui hino welaɓe ma hara saabu koɓe jeeyaɓe ɓe guure wotere donc si ɗum noon yawti haray ka nder leydi men e wawa hollude wonandema e ɗon gueeli e ɗe balɗe yawde on e ittano ka leydi Guinée ga naɓa e natta ka leydi Sali on haray noon e yewtere wonno ko waɗi mouradu e seedo hakkude leydi yondi e leydi Guinée ɗi e ka ardi ɓen ɓangini wonandema ardiɓe leydi Sierra Leone ɗi haray yo faamu wonandema ɓe raɗoraki ɓen noon fi ko fewti haray e añugolɓe ma goɗɗu ngo haray ko fi ko fewti huulande maɓɓe nde ɓe fokkintinni e ko fewti laɓɓingo saare Conakry nden donc haray ɗon kadi ko noon fewdori wano se jetti kadi e ka capital men Conakry eɗon jeeli e ardinoɗo ndu saldu wiyeteɗo OGP ɗum office guinéen publicité on noon kadi manjatidi ɓe accintinano golleji mum ni haray on noon kadi wawama remplacé de goɗɗo go toɗɗama wiyeteɗo Alhaji Sello Camara ko wawamo remplace ude donc haray e sengo woto on kadi e docteur Mohamed Diané eɗon andi kanko wonno ministre de la défense fewdo la matière professeur Alpha Condé mo laamu mum yarna follere ɗon jeeli haray cuuɗu ñawirdu nodditirtendu CRIEF ndu tawa haray ko aƴƴandu ma ko mana ko siñcandu fi ko fewti ñawgo towa dardiaɓe murtinde ma haloɓe jawle kafaɗe hutorɓe ngenare ko nandi tata haray e ndun saldu crief ɗon kadi wawi e jagginde docteur mohamed diane ɗum ko ministre de la défense on wi ko fewti ɗen tuume fawanode hoore makko haray wonno ko ɓe fayimo e duuɓi 5 kaso hay noon e nder ɗin duuɓi 5 kaso ɗon kadi koɓe faymo noon ɓe landitimo yoɓugol 500 milliards ɗum ko milliard 500 e mbuuɗi lajjine fi ko fewti e amande haray e nden ñawore ɗon noon wallina fondoji wonɓe mo e dartanade nden ha hewti e wonɓe ɗaɓɓude laamu woɓɓe e maɓɓe goo ɓe kamɓe haray ɓe ƴettitiri nden ñawore ɗon par ce que tawi woni haray ko hutorgol e towa dardiaɓe ɓen fi ko fewti aybingol ɓe donc haray e sengo ko kadi o windowo wallikotoɗo bokkuji ɗum ko écrivain jo wiyeteɗo ceerno monenen bo e ɓaawo saji yawtude haray ɓanginama wonandema on noon kadi jeeyi e no wawi so tawi woni ɓe andaka fimu ma ɓe umpitaka fimu no kamba ndemo fi ko fewti ciwlagol mo mbayɗen jeeli e towa dardiaɓe boyi hino ciwlaka leydi laggine ɗo tawata umpitaka wona so jetti fonike mingue billo ba e ko yawtadi ɗe balɗe yawtude ɗo windawolajo on e habib marwan camara donc aray ko hunde nde tawata hino ngalɗini mo radio sud on jeeli kadi e alouba ardiɗo nde mojobere modèle kankadi haray e woduno kambiranɓe numo noon kono ɗum haɗalimo ruɗɗagol ka leydi laguine ɓawto o jofinde jaalu makko kum e ka leydi faransi e so jetti ɗerto konngol inde gouvernement leydi woodi ko yewti hunde nde tawata haray hino ngalɗini jamaji ɗi mouradu hesiru ousmane gawal diallo haray ɓangini wonandema laamu hakkude ngun ɗum ko transition o wawata jofude ñande 31 lewru décembre ɗon jeeli transition ko hannuno ɗum jofude e ñande 31 lewru décembre ko ɗum ɗon wonno koɓe ahodi kamɓe sédia o haray no ousmane gawal diallo holli wonandema ɗum ɗon wawata gasude ɓeyti wi makko haray e golleji koɓe wonno wadde ko fi ko fewti noɓe yaltira no laguine sortora e o transition wawali taw lannude haray wi makko tikkude ko tawata ko ɗum ɗo lannali e haray e transition o waccake wawata jofude ñande 31 lewru décembre 2024 wanono ɓe awduno ɗon haray en arde ka tottude karamo kalfamo labbe e balɗe yawtude ɗo kadi ko ñande 17 décembre yawtuɗo ɗo ɗum ko hanki hecci hanki cikkiɗe no wettude hanki haray ko ɓuure jum woni ko yiita e nder woyndu e ɗum ɗon ko waɗi kaka quartier tata jeeyaɗo ka commune urbain labbe e tawde noon hari noone no fure o yiitira noon woni wasti weti waylike seeɗa ɓe wawano andude ko hombo woni kunjum ɗon e ko ɓeygure hon ɗo jeeya ko hombo woni o donc e nder yamirore hoore ɓen haray o wawano wattinede haray ko ɗe computé ɗo mais wawata o jumlande so tawi noon hino mari kadi larɗe ɗe falteɗo men fewtinde fi ko fewti yanñugol e yewtere nde haray bisimilla
ok haray ko noon woni ko nanirɗen computé wonɗe yaltude ka nder leydi guiné conakry e nder nde yontere ɗo haray noon mi wawi humpitade haray toon kadi wano fure wawama yiitede e woydu comme no ka nder leydi gambi ɗo noon haray o fure ɗo kadi warɗo sinama o on ɗon kadi haray ko bugui sinama ko ka nder woydu ko paykum heeɓu ko duuɓi ɗiɗi woni ko holli yimɓe ɓen haray nene makko hino ko woydu toon ɗum noon haray woni ko yormi fotono hara wona seeɗa ok haray monsieur boubacar min andi tun haray on jokkitoto men ka nder programme ji haray hande ko politique woni ko yewte fimum ɓay noon on haali haray télémaka politique no yimɓe ɓen nomira toon noon e no ɓe jonnira toon place ji ɗi e ko watti e mum kadi si tawi on humpiti o inneteɗo mamadou ceerno diallo mo ɓe haaɗi e jonnugol kaydiji fi o wawa darnude parti politique fimu yo wawi men laɓɓinande ko ɓuuri laaɓude ngo sengo ɗon kadi ɗo e men artude ka studio ga
no woniri haray eɗen jeeli on to waddar diadio wonnoɗo e fewdo la matériel fa konde ko jibinande pita haray e kañum e amadou ceerno haray e mo landino kaydiji fi o waw fokkintinde mojobere makko nden ko fewti sinjugol mojobere e haray ko fewti e dollitdirgol e moƴƴeɓe hettitiɗen ko fewti ɗaɓɓugol laamu ka nder leydi men haray noon ɓe satinno waggol ɗum ka makko tigiri timbi madina e windawola en kadi wonno ko noddita fi ko fewti tawdegol ndum mouradu fi ko fewtiɗa fokkintingol golleji kañum moƴoɓere makko nde haray yo no eɓɓinda ha ko wiyeteɗo weeti ko bimbi e ɓe humpita wonandema ardiɓe ndeji haray newnanali ɓe mottodirgol fi ko fewti fokkintingol ɗin golleji ɗo ma weeɓitangol jamaji ɗin hulande ma e ɓoore mojobere maɓɓe nden haray noon ɗum no wawano newade e nder hen kadi humpitama waɗa ndema no wawi so tawi woni hendagol makko kaydiji newinanayi ɗimo sincugol mojobere makko ni no yaltintinde ellaji no yaltintinde ngakkireji inon jeeli haray ka sayon fondi o ardiɓe leydi men ndi no ndewini e saria mawɗo keso moɓe faala sincude on ka leydi ɗo yo goɗɗo towno honndu hay so tawi woni o jeeyaka e mojobere ko noon haray ko mawti heeɓa ko wiyete ko wondidaɓe manam mouvement politique so tawi woni harana parti politique kono ko mawti heeɓa mouvement hara o wawa ɗon kadi townude honndu wano mojoɓe politique nden townirta noon honndu donc haray ko ɗum wonno hulande e monsieur ceerno kono ɗum wawali laatade taw wawal newade kono ene ɓuuri taguinade no gasa koɓe jokkito tippino maɓɓe ngon haa ko faale maɓɓe wona ko timmi ɓayde gandi haray ko hunde hanade newinede ko noon so tawi woni ardiɗi noon ko ngakkireji goo kadi ko wonde yaltide fi ko fewti ko tata kon haray e wonɓe ɗaɓɓude laamu men no hawrude sartindeji mouradu e seeru ka nder leydi men Guinée ga wano so jetti e selludelen diallo ardiɗo nde mo jeɓere yefdg guilandema laamu mum ciwla hino jeeli himo wadde jaalum makko kum ka leyɗe addayankoje ha hewti ka leyɗe kawtaje leydi laggine ɗi aray ko tippude no tawata noon no leydi ndi fewdori noon ko ɗum waɗi so tawi woni e selludalen diallo alaka nder leydi ɓuyi e maɓɓe wonɓe ka nder leydi ga kadi aray hino ɓittinana mourade sir waɗugol golleji maɓɓe ɗi wona ko newi ɓaylen jeeli e ardiɓe leydi men ndi toñino mottodire e toñino waggo mouvement de soutien e ko nanditata fof fi ko fewti e kamɓe e ardiɓe leydi ɗi donc manifestation ji ɗin kadi ɗiɗon jeeɗi ɗum yaltu ko holla mettuɓe nde mum ko laawi woni hara ko no haniri noon woni ko jillugo seppa woni ko daragol tuweɓita mettuɓe nde mum ɗum fof hino tongaka nder leydi laggine donc haray ɗum hino wondani e wonɓe ɗaɓɓude laamu sattere mourade seeru hino wondani e iwtirɓe ɓaawo maɓɓe ɓen kadi sattere mourade seeru ɓayi hiɗon jeeɗi so tawi woni hino tonga haray sa yalti eɓe waɗi batte junngo e ma maɓe heññima e jogue ko saria on woni koɓe fawatama so ɓe fayima saria eɗen jeeɗi ɗum haray hollete wona ndema ka yettuɗo laamu ma ɗum ɗo ka faalaɗo rewrude laawol fii e bonnugol e nantodiral ngal ma wongo sombo angal nantodiral ka leydi eɓe wiya ɗum trouble à l'ordre public eɗen jeeɗi yagginande mum heno tiiɗi mouradu e seeru donc haray ino wondani e jamaji ɗin ga e ande e ngakkireji e si ko fewti kañum e ɓen ɗaɓɓaɓe laamu
ok haray kono noon woni ko nanirɗen haray Boubacar min accitete ɗum ha yesso seeɗa haray ko honno wonde e yewtude hannde ko fi politique ko woni yaade kana sous région men ɗo e nder Afrique de l'Ouest ko wano comme Gambie sa yi ɓeyni ɓe ñaaway o inneteɗo Yaya Jammeh rutti kadi wano comme Guinée Conakry Doumbia o inni o faalaka accu ronkude darade ɗaɓɓa jullere lamɗen toon sen daari kadi wono comme président Niger on kanko kadi o holli o inni woɓe artataka seede o hannde kadi ɗum ɗon wota yimɓe ɓen haray mappo walla kota sikku kamɓe ɓe artay ka région ka innugol seede o rutti kadi hono ko sen daari Burkina Faso ɓen ɗon kadi hari ɓe nannguno wonɓe ñaawde walla ka cuuɗi ñaawirɗi maɓɓe toon ɓe naɓi ɓe haɓoyagol so ɗum ɗo fof hiyen duwa yewtude fiimum waɗanomen haray noon téléma ko ɗum woni programme ji ko min arta ɗo ande tun haray fewɗo e jokkodirde e neɗɗo inneteɗo haray honorable Lamine Mané on ɗon kadi haray ko daraniɗo fi sukaɓe yagal ngal ko activiste joka nder leydi Gambie ɗo haray min yaltirino sa e hollugol mettu ɓerna men eko ɓaari haray téléma fi kaydiji koɓe faala ɓeydande joddiji ɓe wonɓe ka cuuɗi ñawirɗi ka nder leydi Gambie ɗo kala kadi ko yaltiti téléma haray ɓeydugol ɗum ɗo haray sa dartike kadi tigi tigi on o darata ko o haɓo so hannde noon min yewtay kadi ko fi no joddiji faala ɓeydirede ka nder leydi Gambie ɗo eko ɓaari e mum kadi haray kono en ka min landotoma ko telen ka politique ko ɓaari ka nder leydi Guinée Conakry toon haray en yesso seeɗa si Allah on jaaɓi. Okay, thank you very much. That's one of our reporter in Guinea Conakry, Honorable Boubacar Garki Diallo is a reporter in the Kalen News. We will come back to our studio, King FM 94.7, where we have our host, Honorable Lamine Mané, member of Concerned Citizen. So, Mr. Honorable, good evening once again.
Good evening, Usman. Thank you so much, and I really appreciated the report from your colleague that is in Guinea Conakry, right? Thank you so much.
Okay, what he was saying here is regarding one of the citizens in Guinea-Conakry filed documents and looking to have a political party in Guinea-Conakry, but the government refused to allow him or to permit him to have his own political party. His name is Mohamed Cherno Diallo in Guinea-Conakry. He is a born citizen where they normally is a town or it's a village by the name Peter in Guinea-Conakry. But their region or state is Labe. Is from there. So we have seen Labe at this moment. They have three prominent candidates. We have especially Selou Dalen Diallo, and we also have one of their prominent Aliou Ba. Him also right now he is the president of political party by the name like Model, and Selou Dalen Diallo he is the political party leader UFDG in Guinea-Conakry. So this man also he is from the same region with them, and he want to have a political party. So and he is a fuller, so I don't know why the government refused to give him, documents and or to allow him, to have his own political party in Guinea-Conakry. But currently in Guinea-Conakry, the transitional leader there, that's Colonel General Mamadi Doumbia, he want to, stand for the next upcoming election 2025, and he told his people that okay, he is going to contest. But before in 2021, he have told his people, no one will stand or look for a presidential position after the transition under his regime. So whoever was under his regime, either you are a minister or mayor or councillor, especially him, so none of them is going to, stand for a presidential candidate. So, but right now he changed his mind and he said, he will contest for the upcoming election. That is another. So the political activists in Guinea-Conakry, they came out there and said that his transition is to end this year, December, 2024. That's the last, month, and the last day which they give him is 31st December 2024 actually. So, but coming back to Gambia right now, before we get into political landscape. So right now, we have seen our platform like Concerned Citizen platform, program, came there whereby the government, says that they have increased, the salary. So can you take us through about the increasement so in that area, Mr. Honorable Lamino?
Yes, thank you so much, Usman, for taking me through the events that are happening in Guinea-Conakry. Indeed, these are things that are not new, because even our own setting when Jammeh came into government, it was just the same thing. The military, when they come, they will say, okay, we are just here to transition, and then we will give the power back to the governed, that is the citizens, the rightful people that voted people into office. But in 1996, we saw him, going back to electoral polls, and then becomes the president of the Republic of the Gambia, and that is exactly what Doumbia is trying to do. So it is very hard, and most of the time people will say we need military men to be presidents, but this is the backlash that you will receive from having a military coup d'etat, because power sometimes can be very, very detrimental if you go closer to it. Like they say, power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. So if an individual assumes powers, it's very difficult for you to remove that individual from the privilege that he is enjoying. Now to your question, yes, 6 months ago, the young people of this country, led by the concerned citizens, including yourself, you are part of the executive. We have seen something that is happening in the country which we believe should not happen. That is the increment of the National Assembly members' salaries and pension, likewise the judicial officers' remuneration and other entitlement. So this has created a lot of commotion in the country, because young people believe that there are a lot of individuals, the police, the nurses, the teachers. These are individuals that are receiving a very low income compared to the government. When I say government, I mean the judiciary, the National Assembly, and the executive. So upon giving them all the allowances that they are enjoying and the benefits, when they come up to say they also want an increment or an entitlement to their salaries, that is something as young people that we believe should not happen, because we as young people are even challenged with opportunities to be employed in this country, and that is why we are seeing a lot of people living in this living out this country for the Mediterranean seas to Europe. So we have 8 demands, and our demands, as you know, the 8th one is for government to look into the pay scale, that is to restructure the pay scale. So we must thank the government first for listening to our demand to say, okay, by 2025 we want the pay scales to be restructured. We want to add the salaries of low-income earners. But are we satisfied with this? I will say I am not satisfied with this, 100%, because when I look at the way government earn money through these allowances, and I compare it to the low-income earners, that is the police, the teachers, the nurses, you increase their salaries, but I think if you increase their allowances, that will at least give them something to go home with, because most of the time allowances, you do not tax allowances, but you tax the salaries that you give them. So giving an individual a 30% pay increase, and with a tax on that pay increase is something that is not going to yield much dividend as far as taking home something from what you are doing for a whole month is concerned. So yes, we are so proud that government listened to us, and then we good with that.
Okay, so can you tell us, like, the percentage, they are intending to increase each grade from grade 1 to grade 12?
Yeah, so it's a proposed. I mean, it's a proposed bill. That means like if you want to marry, you propose to a woman first. So it is for the woman to accept whether to be with you or not. So the government have proposed a 30% pay increase on the salaries of the low-income earners. But this is in the bill, so the bill will go to the National Assembly, and the National Assembly will look into the nitty-gritties around this document, whether it is something that is good, or whether they have to even increase more or decrease. So that is for the National Assembly to go through and see what are the clauses to be removed from the document that is the proposed pay scale in the National Assembly now. And I want to believe they will start discussing that maybe this week or next.
Okay. Do you think this bill, if it is goes to the National Assembly, and they will vote for it, because we are seeing like the moment concerned citizens came out to protest against the judicial officers bill. So do you think them also they are going to sign this bill, or because this bill it is for every sectors, it include everybody, but their bill, the judicial officers bill, is mainly for the judiciaries. So, and even some of them are saying that it's not for all the judiciary, it's only the high rankers there, like the judges, so like some of the lawyers are not part of them, and also other sectors in the judiciary office. So, but this increasement, do you think it is for the whole sectors?
No, the Minister of Finance says that this is not for everyone. This is for the low-income earners. And when we say low-income earners, we are talking about the police, we are talking about the nurses, we are talking about the teachers, and then the list goes on. So the senior officials which involve the National Assembly, the judiciary, likewise the executive itself, I'm not sure, because the minister himself will have to go back to the parliament to defend some of the clauses in that proposed draft, because I want to believe it came with that. So no, the people that are going to receive this pay increment, according to the finance minister, is those that have been paid less as far as our pay restructuring is concerned, maybe grade 1 to grade 6. But above that, high officials are not going to enjoy from this opportunity.
So, like ministers,
they are not part of it.
And members of parliament?
No, members of parliament are not part of it, because they've also received theirs, I think 2021. So that bill, that is the National Assembly member salaries and pensions bill, that one talks about another salary increment. But they said for them that is not a salary increment. It's for if an individual died, what your people are going to enjoy from the labor that you have committed yourself to, as far as serving in this country is concerned. So this doesn't involve the members of the National Assembly, it doesn't involve the executive, that is the ministers and the president, and I want to believe it doesn't involve the judges too, but maybe the low-ranked lawyers and so forth that are working there and they are low-paid can be considered for this bill.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's go to Jara in the Gambia here, whereby we will meet our man. His name Malaini Jayu. Also, he is a teacher, and believe last time I have seen a teacher who have come out in Sierra and said send a message or his bank account. He need like money, send it to most of the pages. So and he is being money. So and people were surprised to see that because things like a teacher and you are expected to be paid monthly. You are having a monthly salary, and you are saying that you are posted in CRR and you don't have money. So, but this man is a teacher in one of the schools in Jara, and he will take us through to that area. And what about the increment also? Either them also they have notified them or not. We will get most of the details from him, and before we come back to our area, our political programs. Yeah. So, Malain. Hello, Malain.
I can hear you. Good evening once again, Honorable Osman.
Okay, thank you very much, Malain. That's you. This is King FM 94.7, and right now we are live on Facebook page King Flash and on our YouTube page. That's King TV Gambia. So right away to our radio station here, King FM 94.7, and our discussion here, as you heard, some of the increment has been proposed to the National Assembly. Either they will vote for it or not. But right now we have seen around CRR there. A teacher have claimed that most of the pages, and he want people to help him to some of the money. So in your teaching program today, so about this increment, how do you think about it?
Okay, Osman, thank you once again, and thanks to all the listeners and your guests out there at the studio. Well, just as you said, with regards to the proposed increment that was been said by the president, and I believe now is going to the parliament to see how it will be ratified and make it something that will be beneficiary and efficient. I believe all civil servants are waiting to see this be a reality, because if we can remember sometimes back, the government one time promised the civil servant that there will be an increment for 50%, just only to realize a 30%. And who knows what percentage are they going to increase into this proposed one. But whatever, we are yearning to see a positive one, though the government one cannot force them to do whatever that they cannot do, but it's also our rights to request what we also need as citizens. So at the moment, we thank the government for coming up with that proposal, and we as civil servants also, I believe, we will also exercise patience to wait until the third month, which is January. Whatever it will happen, then all of us as citizens of the state, we all know this is how things went on. But as of now, I don't have much to say about this proposed increment until it comes into reality.
Okay, Malain. Hello, Malain. Hello.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Today's our discussion topic is mainly for political crisis in West Africa, including Gambia, Guinea-Conakry, and other regions. So right away from the salary increment, which is proposed, from the Minister of Finance in the Gambia here, and saying that most of the low income earners will, their salaries will be increased. So, but on the teaching field, sector, so we have seen a teacher be claiming to, most of the WhatsApp groups, and he sent his posting number and bank account, and asking people, to help him about money. So, have you encountered with any of the teachers who have been, suffering from the, this salary payment, or because most of them are claim that their salary will be stopped, and and others are receiving salaries from regional office while they are not actually at the working place. So do you have any idea about that?
Okay, thank you very much, Honorable. Anyway, to my knowledge, I've never come across such things. Anyway, I don't have much knowledge about what you are saying. I've never come across it, so which means I don't want to say something that I don't know because this is media. Whatever you said, it goes up. So for that area, I may not want to go much into it.
Okay, so right away we will come back to you right now for the political analysis on what is happening in the Gambia about currently and saying, because we have seen our president, the moment he has attended the 66th, summit in Abuja last, 15 December 2024, and, proposed for the ECOWAS leaders, to open a tribunal for the former regime in the Gambia, so for so that they can bring him on, at the bar and to judge him, and our political situation in Guinea Conakry also, there is a member of the political party in Guinea Conakry like UFDG before, and resigned from that party and want his own political party, and but they rejected him. Also in Niger, their president has said clearly now they will never come back to the ECOWAS bloc. That will be our discussion today, Malay. So, but right away after engaging Mr. Malay in that, Mr. We'll come back to Lamin Mane for our discussion on politics. Mr. Mane, you are welcome to our today's topic is mainly for politics. So about the former regime and the current regime, see how many people have seen the differences. So, but the former regime, have been here for almost 22 years, before they have leave from power through a democratic election, and which was headed by Alaji Adama Barrow. So currently, and Barrow has went to Abuja and proposed to ECOWAS leaders, and he wants like Jammeh to face trial, about what has been happening, So have you have any clue about that, or what is your idea about this issue? Either it is a better, idea, or it's not good for the Gambians.
Well, thank you so much, Usman, for that question. Indeed, that's a very good proposal that he had made. But foremost, let us come back to the commissions that we were set here, and the commission was led by SFR, that is the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, that is TRRC. Yeah. So this TRRC, after the end of their investigations, or calling people to come and testify, they have a report that they submitted, that is the white paper report. And this white paper report, most of the issues that are concerned or discussed there, these were the atrocities that are caused by the Jammeh regime, right? So, we believe and we've confirmed from the TRRC report that, people were tortured here without going through the courts. People were killed here without found guilty through the courts. And then a lot of things, a lot of massacres were conducted by the Jammeh regime here. These documents were shared with the president, Mr. Adama Barrow. But it is sad to say that nothing has been done since then about that white paper. Now, for you to travel to a commission where you start telling people that we want you guys to set up a commission to look into Jammeh's atrocities or even judge them, from my point of view, I don't think it makes sense, because you cannot establish a commission in this country and you invest millions of dollars. That commission gave you a recommendation that you have to act upon as the incumbent. You fail to do so. You fail to deal with the people that were perpetrating those crimes. You fail to even compensate those that have gone through the tortures and are brutalized by the Jammeh regime. Now you want to go out to show the world that we are doing very well and we want justice for those that were are brutalized during Jammeh's era, whilst those ones are here asking for compensation. Still they do not have proper compensation from the government. So I think they are masquerading behind politics to say things of these sorts. But if that's happened, government is not like it's going to be only Adama Barrow. If this tribunal or whatever that he wanted them to set up in this country is set up, maybe who knows if another government come next 10, 15 years can go through this process and make sure Jammeh face the fair trial of the law. So I think if that Barrow cannot do it, but he is able to transist to have some institution in this country that will help in bringing Jammeh to justice. That is something that is commendable. But from his end, I think let him start with the white paper first, so that those that were brutalized by Jammeh regime will get their compensation, and those that were accused of perpetrating human rights abuses should face also their consequences. But I mean, those are the people that he is working with. They are very comfortable in this country. They are traveling far and wide. Nothing is happening to them. So from my end, I'm not convinced with the decision that they are making.
Yeah, right away. You are not convinced about the decision which the current leader of the Gambia have took to ECOWAS level, because we have seen the local commission inquiries, and DRRC has passed, passed, as you said, millions has been spent, in this, currently the local commission is going on, and we have not seen any impact of these, commissions in the Gambia here. So, but and right away, hadn't been this money has been took and invested one of the company in the Gambia, most of the people will go and work there. Even the victims who have been suffering from under the regime of Yaya Jammeh. You understand? So, what they fail to do, they are saying that okay, for us, we are going to establish a TRRC commission, and still now those people are free and they are moving around and they are going wherever they want. So even we have seen some of the soldiers, came back to Gambia here, have surrendered. Where are they? Have you heard they have judged them, and yet nothing happened in here in the Gambia? I don't think ECOWAS, we have never seen also ECOWAS, they are, where they are going to judge a president. Whom have they ever judged here? Like Liberian president Charles Taylor, who have been, suffering, disturbing his people in Liberia there too. So of him also, he was judged by ICC, and currently in ICC, that's, they are not standing for US or Europe or other countries, and they are standing for the American, for the African countries. So right away, they don't think maybe Gambian, they will able to sit down and see this has happened. But I've seen that most of the one of the activists has came out, who is based in Europe there, and he said the best place we have to judge Yaya Jammeh is in Senegal. So do you think it's a good idea?
It is not a good idea. Like I said, charity begins at home. Since Yaya Jammeh is on, Yaya Jammeh have left the country to find a place where he will rest his head until time being. We have set commissions here, and those commissions, have recommendations. Let us act on the recommendations first, so that the international community will take us serious, because then you are able to present something to them. Like, okay, these were, the recommendations that the commission gave, as to the, atrocities that were perpetrated by Jammeh's regime, and we have at least, executed these recommendations to 70 to 80%. So ECOWAS will take you serious, or any bloc will take you serious, and then if you say, okay, this is where our strength ends, but we cannot do it alone. We want you guys to come and help us so that we can do this. But now you tell, ECOWAS to take Jammeh to Senegal, to extradite Jammeh to Senegal for trial. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Let us first start with those that have perpetrated this, and then we can see how to deal with Jammeh's situation. It is very hard, let me tell you this, that a sitting president left the country to sit in another country and be brought back to his or her country for trials. It doesn't happen like that, because Jammeh also have loyalties in these countries, those that even want to die for him. Come what may, when Jammeh come back to this country, it is going to be very difficult to trial Jammeh, right? But now the issue is, we cannot also say Jammeh should go to Senegal. What courts do we have in Senegal that will, that will judge Jammeh? We have, established courts. We have, even the ECOWAS have its tribunal. ECOWAS Justice Tribunal is there. So let us first enforce the policies that we have here. Let us first exhaust the recommendations that we are given here, so that we can call, other members to help us to go for Jammeh. But if we are not able to deal with smaller issues in this country, those that have, helped Jammeh to perpetuate, that kind of atrocities on Gambians, how can we just go and say, okay, come and help us, when they know we have the finance, we have the human resource to help to make sure that the TRRC recommendations are into its full effect. But we never did that. How can we just go and tell, come and help us, deal with them?
Yeah, for the failure of the TRRC, I think Isafal is one of the causes, because he left from his position, which he has been appointed as the chairman of TRRC, but seeing that he has joined politics, and so I think now that's one of the his intent just to lead Gambia. He was not there for he was there just for politics, and he is going to look what is good for him, and but it's not good, what is good for the public. You understand? So I think he just did his work and submitted to the government. So, but I'm not thinking he is following this program. Hadn't been he is doing it, he will call Adam Barrow and his government to come out and tell the public about his job. So he has done his job effectively. Now, who is to implement it? Is the Barrows and his government. So, but no one is hearing from Isafal, saying that, or calling the government, to do the implication, in the implementation. You understand? So right now we will engage Malain Jaju about this case. So Malain.
Yes, Honorable.
Okay, right away, you heard about our conversation here. We are discussing about the last regime and the current regimes. The current regime have proposed ECOWAS leaders, to bring Jame, for trial, and we have seen that here in the Gambia we have commissions have been set here, like TRRC, and currently the local government commission inquiries. So it's on progress right now, and this government want other leaders to help us and to bring Jame into trial. And do you think it is a good idea to step in that area, because we have spent millions for these trials in Gambia here, especially the TRRC, but still now no one is seeing the government's steps which they have took to that case. You understand? So, but right away, the local government inquiries also is on progress. No one is hearing nothing. People have heard the money which has been looted by the councils, but still now the government didn't do nothing. Starting from URR coming to KMC right now. So, but bringing James to trial, what is your idea in that area?
Okay, Honorable Usman, thank you very much. You raise up a very important point to discuss. I mean, I would like to thank your guest, Mr. Man. He definitely raised very good points. Okay, looking at the Gambia with these commissions that we had gone through, and still the ongoing commission as well, to me, I see these commissions that they are good at some point, but what makes it bad is why late implementation of the recommendations from all these commissions? Because these commissions were not set up for free. There was finance from the covers of the nation that was used to sponsor these commissions. So obviously, after the recommendation made by the commissions, we expect as citizens, we expect to hear a fruitful implementation from the recommendation made by the commissioners. But we realize, having a Jana Commission where we had a lot of financial dealings which one cannot even understand. After that we have TRRC, which we also had a lot that one cannot even imagine. We have the CRC, Constitutional Review Commission. After all, still, Gambia we are dealing, we are going round and round and round within all these commissions. But at the end of the day, implementations become the problem. Right now, we can all understand the draft constitution is now at the National Assembly. Still now, you have how to call a counter draft constitution made by the president and his cabals and stuff like. But still, they cannot able to put this constitution in place. So it's like we are wasting resource in that side. So away from these commissions that I have made mention of, we come into dealings of trying Yaya Jammeh. I mean, Gambia, we are going through a lot. We are going through a lot. So to me, as a youth and as a concerned citizens, I believe addressing the burning issues that are ongoing in the country will be more vital than discussing issues of how to try Yaya Jammeh. So it is said by ECOWAS that there will be a tribunal court in Senegal where they will try Jammeh. Well, if ECOWAS is to do that, the Gambia government, their take at the moment is addressing the burning issue, current burning issues. Living conditions of innocent citizens in this Gambia is very terrible. You understand? So that need to be addressed. And not that basic amenities of that citizens require as a citizen of a legitimate and a democratic nation, but we need to enjoy. We are not enjoying that. So the government need to do a lot in order to see citizens enjoying their rights as citizens, rather than talking about how to trial Jammeh and also spending money in commissions that at the end of the day we do not hear any fruitful implementation. Victims are shouting. Perpetrators are going by their business. Do you understand? Still, it's like the government is encouraging corruption and encouraging, such actions that had happened in the previous governments, which we don't want to see, neither to hear again. But we want this country to move to another level. So, Usman, if I will not take much time, I believe we still press the government in order for them to have an eagle eye, to see how to take care of the burning issues that are currently, draining citizens of this country. It is very, important for the government to look at that rather than sponsor them. Because I know after this commission, they may bring another commission again. So it's like we are going through commissions, spending a lot of money, but at the end of the day, not implementation. And the citizens wish to hear an implementation because victims are crying day in, day out. But yet still, they don't see a very fruitful thing that they wish from the side of the government. So we do away with commissions. And we looked at how to take up this nation forward.
Okay, Malay.
You can see yes.
Okay, do you think this is not about politics because, we are heading to political election, like presidential election in 2026. So I think maybe Barros could just come in and to tell the Gambians he is a good leader and he can do this So I think maybe they want to put this just to camouflage some of the Gambians, especially the anti-Jammeh.
Yes. It is possible. It is possible because in politics we use ideologies in order to win the hearts of people. So that can also be a yardstick from their political ideology or from their political ways or plans in order to win the heart of the victims. Because if they say that the victims will be happy that yes, the government have now pronounced to try the ex-president for the atrocities and stuff like. So what we are saying that is also possible because we are coming to enter into presidential campaigns and stuff like. So where the president is at the moment, he have to do all means in order to captivate the minds and the hearts of victims so that they can give him power come 2026.
Okay, right away. So here, his questions and saying that okay, they want help from ECOWAS, but right away in Guinea, in Niger, currently, before we go to Guinea Conakry, we are seeing their leader is calling for his citizens just to remain calm because he is not uh, going back to ECOWAS. Do you think it's a good idea for him to remain as he is, and also to come and unite with his fellow, Africans or West Africans? And I think is a better idea in that area. But his decision, do you think is a good decision, Malay?
Anyway, Honorable Osman, anyway, these things are choice, you understand, depending on every independent government, state or every independent nation should rely on themselves. So if he believes that he is well equipped to stand alone, it's not bad. But I believe sometimes joining these organizations, it helps in so many things. Do you understand? So not only in the side of defense, but also in other means as well. So but then I believe Africa should, in fact, it's high time. But otherwise, what I would have able to say is Africa to unite, and that's all what every African will call for, that unity. Once we come together, I believe we can be able to do a lot. Isolations might delay your progress, but coming together as Africans, I believe that will help a lot, because coming into ECOWAS, it helps in the movement and trade within the member states. So you will realize that if your state is not part of ECOWAS, then you will be restricted from those benefits. So therefore, my advice, and if I were him, I would have not choose to isolate from ECOWAS, but rather I would join from ECOWAS to benefit from, many opportunities in ECOWAS.
Okay. Also in Guinea Conakry currently, for them, they are suffering like the political landscape there, whereby their transitional leader, General Mamadi Doumbia, have voted that he is not going to contest for the presidential election. But right now, he has changed his mind in that area too. So in this can tell, like this soldiers regime is not a good, and they don't keep promises. So in that area also, because we have been ruled by the military, and we have encountered a lot. So in Guinea Conakry currently, they are facing the same thing, and this is the fourth military rule in Guinea, starting from their independence after like 1958. And we have seen like 1984, General Lassana Conte came there, and also he was saying the same thing, but he remained to power in ease. And coming to 2008, whereby Colonel Dadis Camara also take power, after the death of their president Lassana Conte. You understand? So right away, and when they have sued, that is Camara also, and this man, General Sekba Konate, took power 2010, and he organized the transition, this civil election, and whereby Alpha Conde came to power. But this man, General Mamadi Doumbia, came to power in 2021, and he told the Guineans that he is not going to contest after his transition, and he's going to just sit 3 years. But right now, he is going that he will contest for the presidential election. And what is your advice into this area?
Okay, Osman, you see, in Africa is very sympathetic. When I said it's very sympathetic, when it comes to leadership, definitely, we hold different opinion to that. But Africans are too much into leadership, more especially into the presidential throne. Once you are put in, either democratically or in a form of coup d'etat, we always want to stay into power for so long after vowing to the citizens that we have come in for a period of 1 year or 2 years, but after these periods, after these years that you have made mention of, we will now come to request another more years to be in the throne, even knowing that the government is, not a democratic government. You understand? But the problem we are all going to set, and what I'm going to say is that definitely military rule is have high disadvantages than advantages. Yeah, because people with gun, people that are trained how to use gun, people that train in a different way. Militaries are trained in a different way. So anytime that they get frustrated and overthrow a government, they come with anger. They come with so many things. And at the end of the day, they will never want to use a constitutional draft, how to call it, a legitimate constitution, but they will rather, kick that constitution away, and they use their degrees to command people in a very harsh and dangerous and very democratic manner. So this is why, in Africa, we don't want to adopt a military government. We want to adopt a civil government, you understand, whereby civilians are from the society, they know the pain in the society, so they can be able to easily address the pain and also give freedom and democracy to the citizens of the country. But having military government, they will use us as they used to be in their sectors, in their camps. So whereby whenever they come into power, they will never want to leave. That's why he said he will not, contest again, but now he wants to contest again. So you see the problem.
Okay, Malain.
Yes.
Okay, right away we'll go to Senegal because there is a political, issues which is going on currently there. We have seen, the current government, Pastef, who has been crying is, they, need, the power and let the country, trust them and give them the power. And still, the former regime where they have stopped, these people have came there and, start there through also, removing one of the elected National Assembly member from National Assembly, and he has accepted, he has resigned. So that's Baslemi, just the mayor of Dakar in that area.
Well, Osman, it's like, we are all talking of the same thing. You see, in politics, these people that are coming into politics, like, president, National Assembly members, chairmen, local government chairmen, and the mayors and the like, they need to be honest to the oath that they take, you understand, when coming into office. So if you see all these problems, is that they don't respect their oath, and they don't respect their words, and they don't respect the citizens that they are administering, you understand. But otherwise, we should not encounter all these things. Okay, coming in and going out, coming in, going out. We cannot even understand. Our politicians being in the Gambia here or outside like Senegal that you are trying to say, I believe those people are aware in politics. So having all these problems, in politics of staying in power and whatsoever is something that we need to look into it very well as Africans. Power is, I know, it's very nice, but then we have to look into it very well, whereby
Malain. Because the last regime under Macky Sall, who have removed Ousmane Sonko at the National Assembly after being accused of a rape case in Senegal. So he was removed from National Assembly, and this man also currently Pastef has did the same to Barthélemy Diaz, and saying that Barthélemy has one killed somebody in Senegal, that's happened between 2011 to 2012 under Abdoulaye Wade's regime before Macky Sall's regime. So, but right now, I think before they allow him to be part of the National Assembly candidate, which has happened November 17, 2024, they shouldn't allow him to contest. But after allowing him, I don't think they just want to use their own power on top of him. So, but Pastef, I don't think they can keep their promises, all along, because what they have been promising, the Senegalese saying that they can do this or they can do that, and saying that jubal jubanti. So all that, I think it's a camouflage because through their actions, which they have been showing that the public, I don't think is a better right.
Anyway, politics is not easy in Africa. Yes, politics is not easy in Africa. Yeah, just as you said, Osman, these are things that we cannot, able to address it once. I think this will be time with time with time. I understand people will come to understand what we are trying to say. But like, if you look at the situations in Senegal right now, just as you make mention of this, it's like they don't want to respect the constitution and also to respect their words that they said to the citizens. These are important things in politics that one need to understand in as much as you are in politics. You should understand and honor what the constitution said, and also you have to understand what you can do freely with not much question. But if you want to do something that is in line or is not in line with the constitution, then you will be deprived of that. And if you are deprived, you will now want to say, they have deprived me with this opportunity when I have the qualities of that opportunity.
Okay, Malay.
But not knowing that you violated the constitution before coming there.
Okay, thank you very much, Malay. We will go back just a little break before we come back to the Gambia national politics. We engage Honorable Mr. Lamin.
You're so shut down that you can't feel. What if a question could bridge our hearts through our pain, through our words, through our fears? Oh, it's time to break out of that box that binds your freedom to be known and loved simply for being you. Through talking matters.
Well, that's how we normally, conduct this program. The first segment has gone. After the second segment, so now we'll come back to our third segments. On the third segments, we normally open the callers, but that one will start from next year. And we are inviting, sponsors to sponsor this program. That's Hard Talk Hour, which will come to you normally, every Thursday, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Here at King FM 94.7. We are inviting sponsors to come and sponsor this program, which can help us to reach other people wherever they are. So in terms of like fairs or whatsoever, and also other marketing your area. So through on our Facebook, we having programs to our YouTube TV also, and also to our radio station. So after sponsoring this program, you will acquire to have 3 times this adverts daily for the whole month, and also they will allocate a time for you once a week, so that you can come and advert your program to our radio station, including buying your airtime to our radio station King FM 94.7. Will acquire also helping you other stuff to reach other members wherever they are. But right away, we will ask our topic today is politics. So right away in the Gambian politics, we have been seeing many political parties have been involved in the Gambia. So, and also like the political crisis here and things, everything they have been doing is based on politics. So, but in the Gambia, I think other sectors like the especially the youths who are engaged on the footballs, whoever start here saying that is a candidate, what the first thing what they are going to tell the person, we need jerseys and we need ball, but they never mention like employment opportunity, and whoever is standing in coming to request for a presidential position, I think that person is eligible, to do employment, to raise like employment opportunity. But most of the politicians in the Gambia are busy, saying that okay, buy our membership cards, especially our T-shirts also. But in that area, we'll take Honorable Lamin Mane in that case. So, Mr. Mane, and seeing that many political parties in the Gambia and even like political movements, so do you have what do you have to say about that too? Because these political things, is destroying Gambia. I think.
Well, it is sad to say the least that a country as small as this Gambia have at least 19 political parties. For what? Political parties are formed based on ideologies, ideas. The incumbent that you want to remove, it's because you have seen something and you believe that you can do what the incumbent is not doing, like in the areas of employment. Now you ask political parties, what are your manifestos in the area of agriculture? They don't have it. In the area of maybe employment, youth employment, skill building, all these are things that an individual must factor out first before establishing a political party. Not only that, you also look at the geopolitics as well. What are your policy directions towards how you want to deal with Senegal, how you want to deal with Guinea, how you want to deal with even America and the like.
That's external, relationship.
Exactly. So for an individual that is struggling to understand himself, even in the community, to come and say, I want to establish a political party, rally behind me, it is sad. It is sad. Our politicians should have the knowledge of what politics is about, to be truthful to whatever that they are doing. And you cannot be truthful when you do not surround yourself with individuals of integrity, right? So our politicians are not on the right footing, but as you said, the youths also are to be blamed to some extent, because when an individual approaches you, you have a problem bigger than this football jerseys. These are just, you going playing for maybe 1 hour or two, you go home, but you have a whole life to live. Many of them, even skills, their skills are not developed, because if you do not have the opportunity to go to the University of the Gambia, you must have the opportunity to go to a vocational training school, so that you are able to learn how carpentry works, so that you are able to learn these jobs that we are doing, these technician jobs. You don't have to go to the university to become a technician to work in radio stations, but you guys are employed here. But now you go down the streets, many of our youths are only available on social media, because that's where they believe they are making impact, that we are content creators, things of those. That is not going to take this country anywhere. We need people that will work in this technician aspect, become very have a very good argument of technologies, because the world is going by technology. A political party should even have those policies now. How are you going to deal with the technological space? How are you going to involve young people to become experts in technology, so that this is what the Tiger Nations have done, this is what the Chinese have done to compete with the Americans. They use technology to match or to close the gap that Americans have already made. But it is sad here that young people do not care. If they have a food to eat, maybe lunch, they don't even care whether they are going to have a breakfast or so. So yeah, political parties are many, and then it is not necessary, because we can even have 1, 2, 3, or 4 political parties to contest, rigorously, so that people are able to choose from the best among them. But having 19 political parties, at the end, for you to go and say we want to form a tactical alliance, it doesn't make sense. Like 19 political parties, 16 or 17 are all waiting for tactical alliance when we are going into elections. Tactical alliance with what? With which regime? Is it a regime that the citizens are satisfied with? Because you cannot just go for the elderly people in their communities. You fake them with policies, like if you voted for us in the office, we are going to bring gardens for you here. That's our mothers. We bring gardens for you. They cheer up. That's what they can do. They do not have the knowledge to make money out of any other skill than to go to the gardens. So these politicians, they know these are the weakness of our mothers. They will just go there. Okay, we will build gardens for you. The president, I am so sad. I'm so mad when he was even saying that you can even water your garden when press a remote or whatever in your house. So that is to say, our electorates do not understand how our political system works, and this is why we have to invest enough time in civic education so that people understand what are their rights, what is constitution, who is eligible to represent you, even not only as a president but as a national assembly member. Because if you look at a state, you don't only see it from the perspective of a president. President lead the executive, but you also have the judiciary. When the judiciary is not doing good, people are going to be tortured, and then they will not have fair judgment. You understand? So if you go to the National Assembly, this is where the laws are made, and these are independent bodies. This is where the laws are made. If these laws are not properly made, if these laws do not translate to the realities of what we are facing.
Yeah, but therefore, in the judiciary sector, I have seen like police have been convicted here, soldiers have been convicted, teachers have been convicted, others. But have you ever seen or heard a judiciary member has been convicted here in the Gambia?
Well, I have not heard, but I want to believe the judiciary, is at least doing better compared to the executive and the National Assembly. Because I've seen people that have taken the government to court, and they won cases. Under Jammeh's regime, you cannot do that. You cannot take Jammeh to court, or maybe his employee, maybe in the judicial, rather in the ministerial position.
Do you think that it is not like political situation, because like seeing just a civilian entertain to government to courts and they won cases, but I think like governments are sponsoring in other areas, like to help to make so that people have trusted them. The judiciary are independent, but in the financial, I don't think judiciary are independent.
That's what I'm saying. Judiciary, this is the part that they are doing better. That is to say, at least people can win cases against the government. But they have a whole lot of room to improve. Judiciary have a lot of room to improve. They are punching below their weight.
Judiciary are good to say, okay, the government should pay to this person this amount. We have seen like currently what is going on. A journalist in Brikama, one of the CEO radio station there, that's I think the name of the radio, Pamod Boya, and the name of the radio, I've just forgot it. You understand? So, but he won a case according to the judiciary, and they say that the government should pay him like $50 million. But how are they going to pay that money? And also Tabora Mane, also him also once won a case here, but still now they haven't said that okay, they have paid that money. So do you think the judiciary can just say, okay, these people, they should pay this money or not?
Yeah, of course, that's what I'm saying. The judiciary is playing their part. That is all that they can do. Now it is up to the government. This is why after the TRRC recommendation, they just submitted it to the government. That is for Barrow and his executive members, the cabinet, to look into it and effectuate those recommendations. And that is exactly what the judiciary can also do. Okay, Pamodu have won his case, and we want you to compensate him 15 million. They cannot go beyond that. So it is for the government, that is through the president and his cabinet, to, okay, this is what the courts have done. And it's an independent body, they have summoned us to give this to this so and so and so individual. They should respect the decisions from the courts. You understand? So the courts, at least they are trying, people are winning from there. But now it is for Barrow and his cabinet, that is the ministers and the likes, to do what the judiciary said. But now coming to the National Assembly, we are also not satisfied with what is happening in the National Assembly. The laws that have been made in the National Assembly. Are they in contact with the local people when they are making these laws, like in this form of representation? Because they have oversight function, they scrutinize budgets, and then they make sure they limit the powers of the...
Yeah, some of the National Assembly members, just they came to their, electorate owns there is election, they want people to vote for them, unless like if in their area, if there is a funeral or in naming ceremony or just occasion, they don't go there just to go, but they normally go there occasionally. So I don't think most of the National Assembly are eligible to be at the National Assembly there.
So that is why we must encourage ourselves, you, myself, and each and every youth who is in this country. People should learn, Usman. You cannot also aspire for that position as a young person just to go and be like these old people that we have in the National Assembly or in the executive, ministers and the like. We want young individuals that are, equipped in agriculture, that are equipped in maybe all sort of, life where we can use to develop this country, so that if you find yourself in the National Assembly, you are able to represent your people. But it is sad, like I said earlier, our young people, if you look at them, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, Snapchat, this is where people are now going into, and it is not going to help this country. If we want to develop this country, we have to be serious as young people, because in the next 10, 15 years, we are going to be the ones that will be, maybe you, Usman, might become the National Assembly member for your constituency, or the judiciary become lawyers, or you even become president or a minister. So you should start preparing yourself now as a young person, because what our fathers have done, at least we have blamed them for enough time now. Even Baro Jammeh, there will come a time that we should not blame them 10, 15, 20 years time, because what are we going to do as young persons for the generations to come? That is what is important.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Mane. We will go straight to France before we come back to our studio or go to Guinea-Conakry right away. Bonjour, Aboukar Guilavogui.
Oui, bonsoir.
Non, Aboukar Guilavogui en
Oui,
France.
Bonsoir, comment allez-vous?
Oh, oui, ça va, comment vas-tu là-bas? Ok, actuellement, tu es un peu en retard, mais comme il n'y a pas de problème. Mais tu es en direct actuellement sur notre radio en Gambie, ici, King FM 14.7 FM in Gambie. Aussi, tu es en direct actuellement sur notre page Facebook King Flash, même sur notre YouTube, ici en Gambie, King TV Gambia actuellement. Mais comme d'habitude, salut tout le monde qui est en direct avec nous actuellement.
Alors, donc, bonsoir et bonsoir à tous vos téléspectateurs, naturellement de John Have the Talk Crowd. C'est un plaisir pour moi de prendre la parole sous votre antenne et de m'exprimer sur l'actualité politique, notamment de l'Afrique de l'Ouest.
Ok, merci beaucoup, Bogar. Tu es en France actuellement. Tu es à quel département en France là-bas?
Pardon, vous dites, j'ai pas bien compris.
Tu es en quel département là-bas?
Je suis dans la région parisienne.
Ok, vraiment, merci. Tu es guinéen, mais comme actuellement tu es en France, aussi tu es membre dans une organisation comme Libre des Africains. So, mais comme actuellement tu as 7 membres là-bas. Dear listeners, that's one of our, invited today. That he is in France right now. Is Aboukar Guilavogui. He is a Guinean based in France, and also he is a political analyzer, and as well he is a member of one of the, these unions like Liberty of Africa. They are looking, fighting for the liberty of Africa. So we will just give him the mic and also tell us about the Guinée-Conakry. Mais comme Aboukar actuellement, comme la présidente de la transition générale Mamadi Doumbia, avant cette année, comme 2021, il dit il n'est pas présenté comme sur la présidentielle, mais actuellement il change 7 mots. Mais comment va
Oui.
comme général Mamadi Doumbia changé l'amour.
Oui, en fait, vous savez, le 5 septembre, la Guinée, avant le 5 septembre 2021, jour du coup d'État qui, naturellement, a renversé le président Alpha Condé, il y a eu un coup d'État en Guinée. La Guinée était dans une crise sociale, une crise politique-sociale, dans laquelle un mouvement appelé le FNDC, le Front National pour la Défense de la Constitution, naturellement, avait entrepris des marches pacifiques avec le peuple et les forces vives de la nation pour empêcher le président Alpha Condé de modifier la Constitution, naturellement, et il se présentait pour un 3e mandat. Mais malgré toutes les tentatives, en tout cas toutes les alertes qui ont été faites, le président Alpha Condé avait modifié la Constitution et s'est maintenu au pouvoir après, bien évidemment, cette modification contestée de la Constitution et des élections présidentielles qui ont eu lieu en 2020 et très contestées d'ailleurs. Le président Alpha Condé a été réélu pour un 3e mandat. Et donc, c'est dès lors qu'on a commencé ce mandat que le 5 septembre 2021, des jeunes officiers regroupés au sein des forces vives et regroupés au sein d'une élite militaires appelés les forces spéciales ont pris d'assaut le palais présidentiel et ont opéré un coup d'État, ce qui a naturellement renversé le président Alpha Condé. Et dès ce jour, le discours prometteur du jeune qui naturellement avait été à la tête de ce groupe d'officiers, c'était le général Mamadi Doumbouya. Il avait promis non seulement de ramener la Guinée sous les rails, de ramener la Guinée sur la bonne voie, mais il avait promis une chose, de ne pas se présenter aux élections qui surviendront après cette transition. Mais malheureusement, vous allez constater qu'aujourd'hui, il a changé de voie parce que tout simplement, il veut s'éterniser au pouvoir. Cette décision qu'il avait prise de ne pas se présenter, ou encore moins de présenter un membre du CNRD, de tous ceux qui sont associés à cette transition, à une quelconque élection qui va subvenir après cette transition, naturellement, cette décision n'est plus d'actualité. Il veut se maintenir au pouvoir. Il y a des arrestations arbitraires. Une fois qu'il y a arrêté des gens, il y a des journalistes qui sont arrêtés du fait de leur opinion pendant qu'on dit qu'on veut restaurer la transition. Et actuellement, on ne parle plus de transition en Guinée, mais plutôt de refondation. Vous allez constater avec moi d'ailleurs que récemment, dans le sud de la Guinée, il y a eu un carnage lors des marches de soutien dans, bien évidemment, ce qu'on appelle la propagande politique et le soutien, bien évidemment, à cette supposée candidature du général Mamadi Doumbouya. Chose que nous regrettons et que nous appelons vivement le peuple de Guinée à sortir à nouveau dans cette résilience traditionnelle qu'elle fait montre pour empêcher et barrer la route, non seulement à Mamadi Doumbouya, mais à tout membre du CNRD pour que, bien évidemment, la démocratie et l'état de droit règnent en Guinée.
Ok, actuellement, comment tu penses si Mamadi Doumbouya est passé 31 décembre 2024 en la Guinée, comme les peuples guinéens disent, Mamadi Doumbouya, le gouvernement de Mamadi Doumbouya, il va finir en 31 décembre.
Mhm.
Oui,
Oui,
mais comment tu penses?
effectivement.
Oui.
Oui, oui. En fait, vous savez, la transition, le premier calendrier qui était défini avec les forces vives naturellement, parce que je dis, il y a une crise politique interne que voilà qui est en train de se créer en Guinée naturellement. Le calendrier défini préalablement, c'était que la transition devait prendre fin, la transition en cours devait prendre fin le 31 décembre 2024. Et nous voilà à une semaine de la fin de l'année, du 31 décembre 2024. Aucune élection n'est prévue, rien n'est encore fait, le fichier électoral n'est même pas prêt. Les organes qui doivent être habilités à organiser les élections, aucune d'entre elles ne sont prêtes. Donc naturellement, vous comprendrez avec moi et conviendrez avec moi que le général Mamadi Doumbouya et sa junte, sa nébuleuse du CNRD, ne sont pas prêts à organiser aucune des élections. Ils veulent s'éterniser au pouvoir, et chose que le peuple de Guinée n'acceptera pas parce que le 31 décembre, ce sera la fin de la transition et le peuple de Guinée sortira pour dire non à Mamadi Doumbouya et son équipe.
Ok, ça c'est un cas en Guinée-Conakry. Mais comme le deuxième cas, là-bas, actuellement, il y a une politicienne qui, le gouvernement, n'a pas donné la papier pour créer une parti politique là-bas. Il nomme Mohamed Tcherno Diallo. Comment cette cas est aussi?
Vous savez, lorsqu'on est on est dans une voyoucratie, parce que lorsque des voyous sont à la tête d'un État, ils mènent des méthodes voyoucratiques pour empêcher des citoyens de s'engager politiquement. Sinon, normalement, dans une république démocratique, tout citoyen qui remplit ses droits civiques et politiques est libre de s'engager en politique. Et vous savez, M. Mamadou, un ancien ministre du président Alpha Condé, est libre de créer son parti politique. S'il a été empêché de faire naître son parti politique, c'est parce que tout simplement, la gente craint la création d'autres mouvements politiques. Et chose qui est déplorable, nous, en tout cas, lançons des alertes à la communauté internationale de vraiment prendre des mesures nécessaires et d'exercer une forme de pression diplomatique sur la Guinée afin que les autorités actuelles changent la donne. Parce qu'il n'est pas acceptable qu'avec l'ère de la démocratie au XXIe siècle, qu'on empêche des citoyens qui remplissent leurs droits civils et politiques de créer un parti politique.
Ok, ça c'est une information dans politique, la Guinée, mais comme aussi la Niger, la présidente là-bas, Moussikiani, dit comme il n'est pas retourné à la CEDEAO. aussi comme le président de Burkina Faso, les mêmes, comme actuellement en Sénégal, il y a une
Oui.
mal politique aussi, comme cet gouvernement actuellement qui a élec- élu cette année, en 2024, il proposait comme il y a un membre de politique à Sénégal, Barthélémy Dias, il n'est pas droit pour aller au national, à cette Assemblée nationale en Sénégal parce que il y a un cas, cette membre comme Barthélémy Dias, il a créé là-bas, mort une personne là-bas, so, avec balle.
Oui.
So,
Oui.
actuellement, comme cette politiquement aussi, c'est pas normal là-bas, comme si les gouvernements sénégalais connaissent cette politicienne, il n'est pas allé à l'Assemblée nationale. Comment tu dis?
Euh, D'abord, vous touchez, vous parlez de voilà plusieurs pans de l'actualité internationale. Vous parlez de ce qui se passe naturellement, la crise et les politiques qui est au sein de l'organisation de la CEDEAO, la communauté économique, le cas, la politique interne du Sénégal, ce qui se passe actuellement, voilà, au sein de l'Assemblée nationale et avec le maire de Dakar, M. Barthélémy Diaz. Vous savez, je vais commencer par répondre sur la question de la CEDEAO. Aujourd'hui, il y a une crise profonde qu'on constate au sein de cette organisation qui semble de plus en plus efficace parce que tout simplement, la CEDEAO n'arrive plus à répondre. En tout cas, la CEDEAO est détournée de son objectif du départ et qui avait été créé par les pairs africains politiques de l'époque pour créer la libre circulation entre les États, notamment de l'Afrique de l'Ouest. Ainsi de suite. Voilà. Mais aujourd'hui, nous constatons que cette CEDEAO est devenue beaucoup plus une CEDEAO politique qu'une CEDEAO monétaire. Au lieu de créer la libre circulation des biens et la coopération économique entre les États, elle est devenue finalement le centre ou le théâtre, bien évidemment, de comment on appelle ça, le théâtre de copains politiques qui s'arrangent à maintenir des dictateurs au pouvoir. Parce que vous constaterez que toutes les crises politiques que l'on a aujourd'hui dans nos États, qui ont débouché sur des transitions, ont été préalablement provoquées par des présidents constitutionnellement élus. Et lorsque ces présidents de la République refusent de démissionner à la fin de leur mandat, modifient des constitutions pour s'éterniser au pouvoir, c'est ce qui débouche naturellement à des crises politiques et qui débouche à des coups d'État. Donc, les coups d'État civils provoqués par des coups d'État constitutionnels engendrent des coups d'État militaires, ce qui est grave. Maintenant, la CEDEAO est divisée en deux parties. On a de ceux et qui veulent leur souveraineté politique et économique. Oui.
Ok, merci beaucoup. Comme notre heure il finit actuellement en Gambie ici parce que notre débat commençait à 18h ici, comme 19h en France, il va finir comme 21h en France là-bas, mais comme en Gambie à 20h, mais comme il y a dans quelques minutes aussi sur notre plateforme, je dis comme merci beaucoup à une autre prochaine. Il va connecter avec vous là-bas en France.
D'accord, Inch'Allah. Merci beaucoup. En tout cas, c'est un plaisir pour moi d'avoir intervenu sur votre plateau et à la prochaine.
Ok, merci beaucoup.
Merci, oui.
Thank you very much. Just welcome back to King FM 94.7 in the Gambia here. Right away, that is one of the political analysis for the West African working in the France media show. Right away, his name Abukar Gila Voki. He's a Guinean and a member of Liberty of Africa. What he was saying that in Guinea Conakry, the military, junta, they don't keep their promises and they don't keep their words. So, and also he don't think that they will end up their regime. So because like 31st December 2024 is going to be another things in Guinea Conakry. But coming to Senegal right away, Barthélémy Dias was denied to enter to the National Assembly by the current government in Senegal. So that also is another thing. So Barthélémy was once accused by killing somebody because he's not convicted. No one knows either it's true or not. But we just have little minutes here at our studio and regarding to the words of our reporter in France, we will just engage Mr. Mane, and in that case, so here, Mr. Mane, so we have been talking about the political, landscape in the Gambia. People they don't know about the political situation in the Gambia here.
Well, you guys have mentioned very important topics as far as military junta is concerned, not only in Guinea but the Gambia, and then those that are saying that they have removed themselves from the ECOWAS bloc. So it is very sad for Niger to remove itself from the ECOWAS bloc, because this is what we have faced when Jammeh was with us here. There was a point that Jammeh removed the Gambia from the Commonwealth, and before he does that, a lot of Gambians were enjoying that scholarship package that Commonwealth was giving, as well as other benefits that being a member in an organization comes with. So if you leave your country to an individual, reduce your country to an individual ego, where dictators this is how dictators are created, because these blocks are formed to strengthen democracy, not only for security reasons, but even your economic transactions sometimes become very easy. But if you remove yourself from ECOWAS right now, that means even if something should happen in Niger now, ECOWAS will be restricted to enter in Niger to make sure that peace reign in Niger. So who is going to be there to help them? So that is to say, the military will just suppress the citizens, and then no one is going to help them. Like in our situation, we have to thank ECOWAS, at least for them to come into this country so that Jammeh can leave, because our military alone cannot do that. Though Jammeh left maybe on his own will, but we know the pressure from ECOWAS to also contributed to it. So let's say if Jammeh has removed us from ECOWAS, that means Jammeh is going to continue, because neither Senegal nor any West African countries will send their military to Gambia to help us. So I see only a negative side of removing a country from a bloc that is supervising the day-to-day running, not only the day-to-day running, but even giving you scholarship packages, grants for your development purposes.
Okay, but do you think here, apart from like the military juntas here, but in the Gambia, because do you think most of the people, know why they should vote for vote for someone, or they don't know why they should vote for somebody, to be in the presidential position?
Well, many people do not know. This is why I said civic education is very important. That is to say, people should be taught about how to love their country, the leaders that they should select to be in critical positions. That is even your responsibility, Osman, that you go back to any community that you are from to tell people that, okay, politicians will come maybe next 6-7 months, to pitch, to say, okay, this is the idea that we have for your education, this is the idea that we have for health, this is the idea that we have for agriculture and the likes. So it is the responsibility of us, the young people, to educate our mothers, to educate our fathers.
Yeah, but no politician, will just do such things like to bring any development, to an area apart from being voted, or any political citizen. Just like sponsoring inhabitants, they are good in that. Also, going out there, tell the people we can do this, we can do that. But you will never hear a political party have helped one of the members just to have an employment opportunity, or one of the political party leader have met other these employment opportunity offices like banks or pharmacies or clinic to help their people. You understand? So I don't think most of the people they are here for the people.
Well, Usman, it is not in the interest of politicians to educate, the electorates, on, who to vote. Because look, now let us see the incumbent, that is the NPP, because they are the ones now that is in government, and the person that is leading the NPP, who is Barrow, is financed by the taxpayers. What is maybe the next 5-year plan for NPP in agriculture? What is the next 5-year plan of NPP in health sector? What is because today, as we speak, the University of the Gambia people are not going to school, and they're supposed to have exams since last week Monday. But there is a problem that happens between the management and the staffs. But the government is still sitting on the fence. They don't want to interfere to make sure that things are sorted in the soonest possible time. That is to tell you that sometimes we put in individuals that do not even have the understanding of how politics works, how representation works. But it is not in their interest to tell you that, like you, if I have to steal from you, Usman, I should not train you to know that, okay, I will come and tell you lies to steal from you, or I will come through your back doors to steal from you. I will make sure that you are in the constant state of ignorance, so that whenever I come, I can deceive you for you to benefit from you. That is what African politicians are doing. They are not educating people, because educating people means that when you come and you tell them, this is my policies, they will go through those policies and read to its understanding. And then you cannot deceive them. They will know the strategies that you will use to deceive them. But if you do not educate them on these political issues, on these voting issues, it is to your advantage, because anytime you can come and you will fool them, like what you were saying. Today, Barrow is talking about Jammeh's case. For over 8 years, we have not heard anything about that. Now you are talking about this Jammeh's case because you want to have the support of those that have gone through the trials and the tribulations of the Jammeh's regime. So this is what the politicians will always do. They will always have something on touch, so that when politics or the elections are coming, they will just go and use that as as opportunities to maybe blindfold you and then take opportunities from you.
Okay, hence our times is not in our side, so we will call it a day from here. So what is your last word before we sign out?
Well, I will say thank you so much, Usman, for what you are doing. Indeed, if every youth can be this proactive in social issues, organizing even not only at radio level, at TV, even going into the communities, to have, this type of discussions with the elderly people, they will realize that, okay, the things we were doing in the past 2, 3, 4 years, we are not the right way, but, our son, our daughter is here today. We had sent him to school, and he have learned something. He's here to help us, and this is what you are doing. Whenever that you Usman is talking about the Gambia, Africa, how we can develop it, and I will encourage you, and I will thank you so much for inviting me to this program. Your technicians, I am so happy for the opportunities that they have given us, given to us. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you very much, Honorable Lamin Mane. That's Mr. Honorable Lamin Mane, whom we have had here to our studio today, Kin FM 94.7. And thanks also the audience who are following us through on our Facebook page, that's Kin Flash, and also well to Kin TV Gambia on our YouTube. So we thank our technical partner and assistant to that's Aliu Cham, who have been being in the technical side. Right away to the TV side, we thank Saidu Jallo and also director Mohamed Jame, who have been there in helping us so that the image can pass through and the voice going through to the YouTube TV, so and to the Ken Flash. So right away we thank all the people who are out there also for being with us today, especially Malain Jaju, who is currently in Jara, on the teaching post. So we thank him very much for his wonderful, analysis on the political situations as well on the teaching field. So likewise to Guinea Conakry, we thank Abubakar Garki Jallo for wonderful reports and also for like weekly news summarizes he has told us like in Guinea Conakry like a child has been killed there and thrown into a well, especially in the Gambia here, but in the same area, those people they are come from the same region who have created that case here in Gambia. So those people also are from in Guinea Conakry, according to the Gambian police station, they are from Guinea Conakry in Labe. So in Guinea Conakry also that journalist is based in currently in Labe, one of the region in Guinea Conakry, and he is working currently in one of the newspaper there in Guinea Conakry, that's Kale News. We thank also Abubakar Gilavoki in France there, one of the political analyzers in France. So thanks. Today we didn't have live Ibrahim Migrant Series to tell us about migration issues. What happened in the IOM? They have been busy on the hosting these programs or many creating things like